Perhaps because Lewin's model is very simple and straightforward, virtually all models of organizational change start with this approach. However, it does not deal with several important issues, so let's take a look at the continuous change process model. The continuous change process model incorporates the forces for change, a problem-solving process, a change agent, and a transition management. It takes top management perspective and highlights the fact that organizations today, change is a continuous process. A more complex and helpful approach is illustrated in this figure. This approach treats planned change from the perspective of top management and indicates that change is a continuous process. Although we discuss each step as if it were separate and distinct, it's important to note that change becomes continuous in organizations. Different steps are probably occurring simultaneously throughout the organization. This model incorporates Lewin's concept into the implementation phase. In this approach, top management perspectives that certain forces or trends call for change, and the issue is subject to organizations' usual problem-solving and decision-making processes. Usually, top management defines its goals in terms of what the organization or certain processes or outputs will be like after the change. Alternatives for change are generated and evaluated, and an acceptable one is selected. Early in the process, the organization may seek the assistance of a change agent, a person who will become responsible for managing the change effort. The change agent may also help management recognize and define the problem or the need for the change and may be involved in generating and evaluating potential plans for action. The change agent may be a member of the organization, an outsider such as a consultant, or even someone from headquarters whom employees view as an outsider. An internal change agent is likely to know the organization's people, tasks, and political situations, which may be helpful in interpreting data and in understanding the system. But an insider may also be too close to the situation to view it objectively. An outsider, then, is often received better by all parties because of his or her assumed impartiality. Under the direction of management of the change agent, the organization implements the change through Lewin's unfreeze, change, refreeze process. The final step is measurement, evaluation, and control. The change agent and top management group assess the degree to which change is having its desired effect. That is, they measure progress towards the goals of the change and make appropriate changes if necessary. The more closely the change agent is involved in the change process, the less distinct these steps become. The change agent becomes a collaborator or a helper to the organization as she or he is immersed in defining and solving the problem with members of the organization. When this happens, the change agent may be working with many individuals, groups, and departments within the organization, or on different phases of the change process. When the change process is moving along from one stage to the other, it may not be readily observable because the total involvement of the change agent in every phase of the project might differ. Throughout the process, however, the change agent brings new ideas and viewpoints that help members look at old problems in new ways. Change often arises from conflict that results from the change agent as they challenge the organization's assumptions and generally accepted patterns of operation. Through the measurement, evaluation, and control phase, top management determines the effectiveness of the change process by evaluating various indicators of organizational productivity and effectiveness or employee morale. It is expected the organization will be better after the change than before. However, the uncertainties and rapid changes in all sectors of the environment make constant organizational change a given for most organizations. Transition management is the process of systematically planning, organizing, and implementing change, from the disassembly of the current state to the realization of a fully functional future state within the organization. No matter how much planning precedes the change and how well it is implemented, because people are involved, there will always be unanticipated and unpredictable things that will happen along the way. One key role of the transition management is to deal with these unanticipated consequences. Once change begins, the organization is neither the old state nor the new state, yet business must go on. Transition management also ensures that business continues while the change is occurring. Therefore, it must begin before the change occurs. The members of the regular management team must take on the role of transition managers and coordinate organizational activities with the change agent. An interim management structure or interim positions may be created to ensure continuity and control of the business during the transition. Communication about the changes to all involved, from employees to customers and suppliers, plays a key role in transition management.